Hi friends, and welcome back to my weekly reflection or my Thursday thoughts. I missed last week. I had insomnia and I couldn't form a coherent sentence on Thursdays, so it wasn't going to work. So with my weekly reflections and my Thursday thoughts, each week I like to share something that I'm learning as I navigate this new chapter in my life. So now that I'm 60 years old and learning things as I'm navigating between unemployment, semi-retirement, and rediscovering what truly matters to me. And this week I found myself thinking about something relatively simple, and that is joy. So not the big life-changing kind, but the kind that hides in everyday moments. And the kind that we frequently don't even notice. We forget to notice it. But it's that underlying joy in just these little things in life that can bring us joy. Now, why does joy feel different now? When I was working full-time, joy frequently came from accomplishments. It was frequently tied to finishing up a big project, making it through a semester at school, seeing my students graduate, checking something off a list, getting an article published, or finishing an article to send off for submission, or for most of us, any kind of big accomplishment is where we would find joy before we hit this unemployed, semi-retired stage of life. But what I'm finding is that now, without that constant structure in my life, I've had to redefine what joy means to me. Like I said, before it was that joy that I got from things coming through work. Now I'm redefining what joy means to me. So at first it felt really strange. Without work, without deadlines, my days have felt a lot quieter, a lot more subdued, and sometimes they've even felt empty. But slowly I'm starting to recognize that joy does not disappear. It just shifted. It lives in smaller places now. And it lives in those moments that in the past we just kind of went galloping past. We didn't have the time to focus on them. Now, where I'm finding joy now, lately joy has looked different. For me now, joy has looked like enjoying my cup of tea in the morning and sitting and quietly knitting and then just enjoying that quiet time. I get so much joy out of that now, where I can just kind of relax. If I want to spend an extra 10 minutes knitting, I will. Joy also comes from watching the light change through trees. Just sitting back, slowing down, and just looking at things. And just watching like the light filter through the leaves. Watching the color of the leaves changing. Just looking up when we're driving someplace now, just looking out the window and just seeing like in the hills nearby, looking at all the different colors on the trees. It's so beautiful and it brings my heart so much joy. It just looks so nice. I'm also finding joy in hearing from someone who watched one of my videos and said they're feeling the same way. That makes me really happy and brings me a lot of joy. Taking a walk, noticing how the air smells different in the fall. Going for a walk and listening to the leaves crunch under your feet. I love that sound. And that brings me a lot of joy. And when I was working full time, I didn't have the time to really sit back and spend a lot of time noticing that. I also get joy out of cooking something simple just because I want to. And just having that extra time just to enjoy spending a bit more time in the kitchen and cooking something different or something very simple and just enjoying it. So none of these are huge moments, but they make me feel alive and they make me feel happy. And maybe that's what this stage of life is really about. Just taking the time to notice these little things in life and appreciate the joy that comes from them. And I think we really underestimate how powerful these little joys in life are. I don't think when we were working and focusing on our jobs and go, I don't think we had the time to really take time to smell the flowers, like that old saying goes, but take time to just appreciate the joy in these little things. So those are the kind of moments that help to keep us grounded, especially in this time of change and some uncertainty. Right now, I don't know if I'm going to be going into full retirement, if I'm going to find an academic position again, a full-time position, a part-time position. There's a lot of uncertainty now and a lot of change. And these moments of recognizing these little snippets of joy are really helpful in keeping me grounded. And I'm finding that when life is feeling unclear, finding joy in something ordinary really reminds me that life is still happening. I'm still here, I'm still grateful, and I'm going to enjoy all these little quiet, small things in life, these little things that bring me joy. And when you start noticing these moments, you see more of them. The more I notice these little signs of satisfaction and these little things of joy, the more I see. And it's kind of like a snowball going downhill. I'm finding joy in the colder temperatures. The fact that I need to put socks on now because my feet are getting cold. That gives me joy because the temperature is getting cooler. I prefer the cooler temperatures. So my message to you, my viewer, if you're going through a transition, whether it's through retirement, job loss, or just a slower season, I really want to remind you that you don't need to chase joy. You just need to look for it and notice it. Recognize it's right there. It's right under our noses. And joy is the reward for being present. It's already there. Joy is in the small, steady rhythms of our days. It's a reward for just being there, being present, and just appreciating all these little things. So this week has taught me that happiness is not something I have to earn. It's simply something I can receive. Quietly, simply, and with gratitude. And I am appreciating every single little joyful moment, whether it's just cooking something for supper, whether it's going out for a walk, crunching on those autumn leaves, looking at it just brings me joy. I'm just watching out the window over here. I'm just looking at the sun coming through the sheer curtain that we have. And just the way the fabric, it's just so pretty. And it just makes me happy that simple little thing. And just appreciate those things. So I want to thank you for spending time with me this week. I apologize I missed last week. But I'd love to hear in the comments, what is one small thing that's brought you joy this week? Share it in the comments below. I love reading your comments. I try to respond to every one of them. And just share with me, what is something that brought you joy this week? And if this reflection has resonated with you, please like, subscribe, comment. It helps my little channel, my little community grow. And and that brings me joy. As yet another thing, a simple little thing, seeing my subscription numbers ever so slowly inch up. That brings me joy. The simple little things. So thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you, and you bring me joy. This little community that I'm hoping to build makes me happy. It brings me joy. And I thank you so much for that. So I will see you again next week for another Thursday Thought. Thanks very much, everyone. Bye.